let's get started. Make your way into child's pose. So coming onto the knees, tops of toes flat. Take the knees a little bit wider, toes a little bit towards each other, and then stretch the hands out in front, sink the hips back onto the heels. And using the hands, press the hands forward to sink the hips back a little bit more, anchoring them back, and then keep them anchored. Stretch the arms forward so we're lengthening through the whole spine, sides of the body. Allow the head to just drop down a little bit so the neck is comfortable. And then breathing in, hips sinking back, arms stretching forward. Just feeling the lengthening along the whole back line of the body. And then as you breathe in, keep broadening across the lower back, broadening across the mid back. Allow the shoulders, the neck to be soft. Breathe in and breathe out. And taking the left hand right beside the left knee, kind of use it there to anchor it down, and then take the right arm out in a diagonal, stretching it long. The right hip is sinking back, allowing the head to be soft, the neck in a neutral position. A breath in here, and a breath out, release. Bring both hands back up to front. Same thing, second side. So right hand comes beside the right knee. Take the left arm out in a diagonal, and then sink the hips back. And then as you breathe into the left side of the torso, expanding, broadening from the inside. And breathing out, finding some softness. And bringing both hands back, stretch them out wide. And then once again, sinking the hips back, stretching the arms out in front. A breath here, inhaling. And then exhaling, making your way up onto all fours. So stacking the hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And find that kind of sense of a neutral spine. So the sides of the waist are drawing up slightly. The neck is in line with the spine. And then starting to move through the spine. So cat-cow first, rounding the spine up towards the ceiling. Let the head drop down, let the tailbone drop down. And then as you inhale, coming into a back bend, so tailbone lifts, look up. Then back and forth. Exhaling, rounding. Inhaling into back bend. One more, exhaling, rounding the spine up, navel draws in. And then inhaling into your back bend. And then coming to a neutral spine. Take the left hand, put it a little bit more underneath the shoulder, give you some support. And then the right hand, as you inhale, sweep it up, twisting open. And then as you exhale, take the back of the hand, slide it underneath your left. Bring the right shoulder down towards the floor. Bring the head down to the floor as well. And then the left hand, just bring it somewhere in front of you so that you can press gently in, getting a little bit more sensation of opening, of twist. And a breath here, inhale. And then exhale, release, coming back up onto all fours. And then the same thing on the second side. This time the left hand, as you inhale, sweeping it up, twisting open. And then as you exhale, back of the hand slides underneath your right. Bring the head all the way down to the floor. And the right hand comes just a little bit in front of your face so that you can support yourself, pressing the right hand down, finding a little bit more rotation. The hips level, keep the spine long, breathe in. And a breath out. Back up onto all fours. And blink. And then from here, planting the hands firmly, tucking the toes under, and then lift the sides of the waist slightly, firming the navel in. Then lift the knees up just a little bit, hovering them an inch or two above the floor. Keep the sides of the neck lifting up, navel's firm. A breath here, inhaling. And then as you exhale, lift the hips up to downward dog. Adjust the feet if you need. Take the hands out a little bit wider if you need space in the shoulders. And then a little bit of a bend to the knees, lifting up through the hips, lifting up out of the shoulders. And if you like to kind of shift a bit, a little bit of fidgeting in the first downward dog, then go ahead and do so. Bending one knee, alternating, cycling the legs. And eventually coming to 2 still legs, pressing the hands firmly, lifting up. Then back and forth through plank. So as you inhale, shift it forward to plank. And then exhale back to downward dog. And a couple more times just like this. Inhaling nice and slow to plank. Exhale it back to dog. And then last time, even slower. Inhaling forward to plank. Keep the sides of the waist lifting up. Exhale and back to dog. And again, cycling the legs, any kind of movement to loosen up the body. And a little bit of a bend to the knees. Start to walk the hands back towards your feet. Coming into a forward fold at the end of the mat. Bend the knees as much as you need to find the length through the lower back. Maybe grabbing an opposite elbow with your hands. Allow the whole spine to hang down to decompress. If you have any tension in the neck, then shake the head no. Nod it yes. Keep the backs of the thighs lifting up. And feel the whole spine just lengthening down through the crown of the head. One more breath here, inhaling. And then as you exhale, release the hands. Soft bend to the knees. Walk your hands back to downward facing dog. In a breath here, inhaling, growing long through the arms, through the spine. And then as you exhale, a little bend to the knees, look forward. This time walk the feet towards the hands. Coming to a forward fold at the front of the mat. And as you inhale, bring hands to shins and come up halfway. So the legs are straight, shoulders away from the ears, the spine is long. A little bit of engagement through the back. Breath here, inhale. Exhale, soft knees, fold forward. And then just like that, 2 more times, hands to shins. Inhale, grow long, come halfway up. Exhale, fold. Then last time, inhale, halfway up. Shoulders away from the ears, back is flat. A breath here, inhaling. And as you exhale, bring the hands to the hips. Press the hands gently back, getting more length through the spine. And then come all the way up to standing. Release the hands, let the shoulders be soft. And pausing, feeling the breath. Feeling the body. And then moving into some sun salutations. So as you inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, soft knees, fold forward. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale and fold. And rising, inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. And again, inhale, float up. Exhale, soft knees and fold. Let the neck be soft. Inhale, halfway. Spine is long, neck is long, shoulders back. Exhale, fold. Then rising, inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. Last one, inhale, sweep up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold. Then rising, inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. Let some lunges. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant your hands and step your right leg all the way back. A nice long stride. Take the feet a little bit wider so you can get more space in the front of the hips. And then keeping the torso low, fire the back leg up and bring the hands to the hips. And just notice here, if the hips are a little bit skewed, then bring them level. So usually it's this left hip that needs to draw back, so you can stay long through the left side of the waist. Navel's pulling in, lengthening through the heel all the way through the crown of the head. And then releasing the hands from the hips. Inhale, stretch them up alongside the ear. And staying here, exhale. Inhale, growing along through the whole back line of the body. And then exhale, floating the hands down, stepping back to downward facing dog. And then pausing in dog, hands pressing firmly, lengthening the arms, the spine, the hips up. Backs of the thighs are pressing up and a little bit back. A breath here, inhaling. And then as you exhale, right foot steps forward between the hands. And just take a moment to adjust the stride so you get a little bit of space. So the feet are on railroad tracks rather than a tight rope. Firing up the back leg, bring the hands to the hips. And again, doing that little adjustment, so just noticing, is your right hip hiked up a little bit? And can you lengthen it back, finding more space through the side of the body? And releasing the hands from the hips as you inhale. Stretch the arms up alongside the ears. Stay here, exhale, navel's firm. And inhale, lifting, lengthening all through the body. Exhaling, hands down. Step it forward to your forward fold. As you next inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold. Then rising, inhale. Exhale, hands down. Lovely. Moving on to the next side. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, hands down. This time, left foot steps back. And the back knee drops. Bring the hands onto the front knee. And then rather than kind of sinking down, try to lift up so the hip points are lifting up towards the face. Finding length through the lower back, tailbone drops down. Pressing the hands lightly on the knees, lengthen up through the spine, keep the shoulders soft, chest is broad. And then releasing the hands as you inhale, sweep them up. And then a little bit of a sequence here. So as you exhale, bring the arms to cactus arms, take the arms a little bit back so the chest lifts. And inhale, sweep the arms up. And 2 more times, exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, sweep up. And then exhaling to your cactus arms. Stay here, inhale, chest lifts, shoulders back. And then reaching the arms up. Floating the hands down. Lift the back knee up, inhale here. And exhale, plant the hands, step back to downward facing dog. And then finding your breath, making it even and smooth. And as you next inhale, rock forward to plank. Pause here in plank. Legs are strong, tailbone's lengthening down, but the sides of the waist are lifting up. A breath here, inhaling, and then exhaling all the way down to the floor. Tops of toes flat, hands beside the chest. As you inhale, coming up into cobra so the shoulders are away from the ears. Spine is long, legs are rooting back. And then release. Tucking toes under, lifting back to downward facing dog. Breath here, inhaling. Exhaling, left foot steps forward between the hands. Back knee drops. Bring the hands onto the front knee. And same as we did on the first side, lifting up a little bit. So the tailbone's dropping down. Back leg is strong. Front of the chest is broad. Releasing the hands, inhale, sweeping up. And as you exhale, cactus arms, chest lifts. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, bending the elbows, chest is broad. And inhale, arms stretch up. Exhaling, join the elbows down. And stay here, inhale, chest lifts, arms are back. And then exhale, hands down. Lift the back knee up. Inhale here. Exhale, step it forward. And as you next inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold. Into standing, inhale. Exhale, hands to your heart. Relax arms down by your side. Nice easy breath in. Long, slow breath out. And then sweeping the arms up as you inhale. Exhaling, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, hands back. Step back to downward facing dog. Pausing here for a breath, feeling the length from the fingers all the way up through the hips. And then coming into plank as you inhale. Exhale, lower down to the floor. And then sitting up here for locust, the tops of feet are flat. Hands, fingers back. Coming up just onto the tips of the fingers, lifting the shoulders up towards the ceiling and away from the ears. Rooting the feet back so feet are super strong. And then lifting the legs up just a little bit, thinking length more than height. Navel's pulling in, so the lower back has a little bit more space. And then eventually reaching the arms back towards the feet. And pausing here, keep finding the length. Arms are reaching back, legs are reaching back, but the navel's pulling in. One more breath here, growing even longer. And then release. Hands below the face, just resting the forehead down. Allowing the breath to be soft, softening the whole back line of the body. And then bringing the hands beside the chest, tucking the toes under, back to downward facing dog. And then from here, making your way to a forward fold at the front of the mat, either step hop, or maybe bending the knees, looking forward, hop. As you inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold. And rising, inhale. Exhale, hands to your heart. Lovely, relax the arms down. Give the body a little shake. And then from here, taking a wide stance, sideways on the mat. We're coming into warrior two, so starting with the hands and the hips, turning the right foot out. And maybe starting with heel to heel alignment, or maybe a little bit wider if you feel you need more space. And then bending into the front knee. And take as long a stance as you feel comfortable with. Something that allows you to still kind of press the feet down and draw them together. And then stretching the arms out. Keeping the shoulders soft. Keep the tailbone dropping down so the lower back stays long and broad. And then pausing here for a breath. It's a nice soft gaze over the front fingers. And softening somewhere, whether it's the jaw, the eyes, maybe softening the breath. And then coming into reverse warrior, so top palm flips up. Back hand just rests down your knee. And as you inhale, stretching the arm up towards the ceiling. Keep bending into the front knee. Feel the length from the hip all the way up through the fingertips. then floating nice and slow back to warrior two, and then coming into side angle, so stretching forward, connecting the forearm with the inside of the knee, and then other arm stretches up alongside the ear. Make the back leg long, stretch the top arm long, and drawing the sternum down slightly to taking out any sense of a back bend, keeping that stability through your core. One more breath, inhaling here, and then exhaling nice and slow back to your warrior two. Pausing here, inhale, and then exhaling, hands float down, straighten the front leg, feet back to parallel. And from here, coming into a forward fold, either just bringing your hands down to the floor, or if you want a little bit more through the shoulders, interlace the fingers behind your back, open the shoulders back, stretch the hands down towards the floor. A little bend to the knee, inhale, chest lifts up, and then exhaling, folding forward, taking the hands up towards the ceiling. And a little bend to the knees, lift the backs of the hips up, allow the spine to lengthen down towards the floor. Let the neck, tops of the shoulders be soft. Breath here, inhaling. And then exhaling, releasing your hands underneath the shoulders, and come up to this kind of flat back position. Shoulders away from the ears, spine is long. A breath here, inhaling. And then exhale, let the spine melt down towards the floor, bending the elbows. And then 2 times, moving with the breath. Inhale, arms straighten, spine is long. Exhale, softening down. And again, inhale, nice flat back, spine is long. Exhale, folding forward. And then last time, inhaling, arms straight, spine is long, shoulders away from the ears. A little bend to the knee, bring the hands to the hips, inhale here. And then as you exhale, coming all the way up to standing, tummy's firm. And then releasing the hands. Lovely. Then moving on to the warrior two on the second side. So this time the left foot turns out. And then set the feet up so that they're comfortable to you. So maybe starting with heel to heel alignment. Maybe a bit wider if that feels better for you. Bending into the front knee. And then lengthen the stride as much as you need to feel comfortable but still strong in the stance. And then when you're ready, floating the arms up. Keep the shoulders soft, arms are long. And if you feel like you're in a little bit of a back bend, then draw the sternum down towards the hips. So the tailbone drops down, the lower back can stay broad. Now soft gaze over your front fingers. And then finding your breath, breathing in and breathing out. One more time, breathing in. Long, slow breath out. And then reverse warrior. So top hand goes down your back leg. Front palm flips up. And then as you inhale, stretch the arm up towards the ceiling, bending into the front knee. And just feel the leg from the hip all the way through the side ribs, up through the arm, the fingertips. And nice and slow coming back to warrior two. And stretching into side angle, getting low through the underside of the torso. Connect the forearm with the inside of the knee. And then swing the arm up alongside the ear. Stretch the arm long, stretch the leg long. Again, finding that connection so the sternum draws down a little bit, taking up any sensation of a back bend. A breath here, inhaling. And then exhaling. Back to warrior two. Inhale here. And then exhale, floating the hands down to the hips. Straighten the leg, feet back to parallel. And then now coming into goddess pose, so both heels turn in. Maybe shorten the stride a little bit and then bend into the knees. Adjust your stance so that you got the knees stacked over the feet. And the knees and the feet are pointing the same direction. Tailbone drops down. Hip points lift up. Bring the hands to prayer. And then lowering down. Pausing here, breath in, breath out. And then coming up nice and slow for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Releasing the hands. You'll turn the feet back together. And then stepping to the front edge of the mat. And then from here, as you inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, hands down. And just walk back to downward facing dog. Last one. Arms are long. Shoulder blades are broad. And lengthening from the fingertips all the way up. Through the spine. Backs of the thighs lifting up. A breath here, inhaling. And as you exhale, drop to your knees. Tops of toes flat. Sink the hips back into a brief child's pose. And then walking the hands back, lifting the torso up. And then just bringing the knees together, resting the hands on the knees. The spine is long, shoulders are soft. And then making your way to a cross-legged position. So just a couple poses before we close the practice. If you find that you're rounding a little bit in the spine, the lower back, then get a blanket or something to put under your sit bones to prop yourself up, to give you length and freedom through the pelvis. And taking the feet to the edges, so they're a little bit closer underneath the knees. Peel the sit bones back so you can sit up a little bit taller. And as you inhale, stretch the arms up. And as you exhale, coming forward into a forward fold. I like a little rock side to side to help loosen up the hips. Let the back of the neck be long. And then with the hands, press the hands forward so you root your sit bones back. And try to keep that sense that the sit bones are rooted back. And start to walk the arms forward, stretching out. And let the head just drop down. Feeling the stretch through the outer hips. And then if you like, you can bring the backs of the elbows against the shins. Keep the sit bones rooting back, but press the elbows into the shins to traction the chest forward. And keep the shoulders away from the ears. Neck is long. A breath here, inhale. And then exhale, releasing the elbows from the shins. Walking the hands back, coming up to upright. And then a nice easy twist, so hand to the opposite knee. Other hand comes behind you. As you inhale, lengthen up. And then as you exhale, rotating into the twist. And the hand on the knee helps to kind of get a little bit more length, a little bit more rotation. And then staying here in the twist with the body, turn the head back towards your front shoulder, as far as you can comfortably go. And a breath here, inhaling. Exhaling, body comes back to center. Bring the hands behind you. Bring the legs out in front and give them a little shake. And then we'll change the cross of the legs. So walking the feet until they're a little bit more underneath the knees. And the feet are a little bit active too, so the pinky side toe is pressing into the mat just to protect the knees. And adjusting the sit bones, pulling the flesh away so you can sit up a little bit taller. As you inhale, stretch the arms up. And as you exhale, folding forward, a little bit of a rock side to side if that feels good. Hands press forward, rooting the sit bones back. And then keeping the sit bones rooted back, walk the hands out in front so you're lengthening through the whole back line of the torso, from the fingers, upper back, mid back and lower back. And then if you like, you can bring the elbows back towards the shins. Press the elbows into the shins so you're tractioning the chest forward. So the neck stays long, shoulders away from the ears. And just notice the sensations through the outer hips. These can get a little bit tight if you've been sitting quite a bit. And breathing in here. And breathing out, releasing, walking the hands back. And then twisting to the second side. So the hand comes to the other knee, other hand comes behind you. Inhale, lengthen. And exhaling, rotating. And keep the front of the chest broad, keep the shoulders softening away. And then staying in the twist, just the head turns back, looking over the front shoulder. Breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out, rotate back. Good thing. And then from here, making your way onto your back, rolling down, knees stay bent. And then pausing, wrapping the shoulder blades a little bit underneath you, palms up. And then taking the feet out a little bit to the side, knocking the knees together, broadening across the lower back, feeling that connection between the body and the floor. And feel your breath. Allow some softness to come in. Relaxing the jaw, the forehead, and the eyes. And each exhale you take, allow the body to melt just a little bit more. Feeling the feet against the mat, backs of the hands, the arms. Just feeling that sense of connection, that sense of being grounded, anchored into this present moment. And pause here for as long as you need, and taking whatever it is that you need for the rest of your day.